Welcome to my channel. Imagine this. You know some English words, but when you try to speak, your mind goes blank. You feel frustrated and embarrassed. You think, maybe English is too hard for me. I know exactly how you feel, because I have seen it with many students. But let me tell you something very important. Learning English is not about being perfect. It is about learning smart, simple steps and practicing them every day. Today, I am going to share those steps with you. Steps that really work. Steps that will help you speak English clearly and confidently in just a few months. So stay with me till the end, because if you follow these steps carefully, your English will improve faster than you ever imagined. Chapter 1. Change how you think about learning English. A few years ago, I met a student named Ali. He wanted to learn English fast, but he was frustrated. He joined classes, watched videos, and bought many books. But after 6 months, he still could not speak even one full sentence confidently. He told me, maybe English is not for me. Maybe I am not smart enough. I looked at him and said, Ali, the problem is not you. The problem is how you are learning. If you change your approach, your English can improve very fast. Many beginners feel the same way. They think English is too difficult. They believe only some people are smart enough to learn it. But that is not true. English is like any other skill. You can learn it if you follow simple steps and practice the right way. Learning English is not about memorizing thousands of words or knowing all the grammar rules. Learning English is about taking small steps every day, speaking a little, listening a little, and gradually getting better. The first and most important step is to change your mindset. Stop thinking I must speak perfectly. Stop thinking I will make mistakes, so I should not try. Mistakes are not a problem. Mistakes are a part of learning. When you learn to ride a bicycle, you fall many times. Do you stop riding because of a few falls? No. You keep trying, and with practice, you become better. Learning English is exactly the same. You will make mistakes, but that is how your brain learns. Every mistake is a step forward. Another important idea is small daily practice is better than long, rare practice. Many students study for 2 hours in one day, then take a week off. They think this is enough. But it is not. Learning English is like planting a tree. You water it a little every day, not all at once. If you water it once a week, the tree will not grow well. But if you water it daily, the tree grows strong and healthy. Similarly, studying a little every day will help you speak English faster. You can start with just 10 minutes of listening, 10 minutes of speaking, and 10 minutes of reading. That is enough to make progress. Now let us talk about setting small goals. Do not aim to speak perfect English in 1 month. That will only frustrate you. Instead, aim to speak one sentence correctly every day. Aim to learn one new phrase and use it in your daily life. Small goals give you confidence. Every time you achieve a small goal, your brain feels happy and motivated. Motivation is very important in learning English. If you feel motivated, you will continue learning without feeling bored or tired. A simple tip I always give my students is to celebrate small wins. Did you speak one sentence without hesitation? Did you use a new word correctly? Celebrate it. Pat yourself on the back. This will make you feel good and encourage you to keep going. Learning English is not a race. It is a journey. Enjoy every small step. Let me share another secret. English is not just about words and grammar. English is also about thinking in English. Many students translate from their native language into English in their mind. This slows them down. If you want to speak fast, start thinking in English. For example, when you see a cup of tea, say to yourself, "This is my tea. I am drinking tea." Start with small thoughts. Every day increase your English thoughts. This will train your brain to speak English naturally. Finally, remember this: confidence is more important than perfection. You do not need to speak perfect English to be understood. People can understand simple sentences. If you are confident, even simple English will make you sound good. Do not hide your English. Speak it, even if it is small, even if it is not perfect. The more you speak, the more confident you become. And confidence makes learning English much faster. So, my friend, today you learned the most important step: change your mindset. Stop thinking English is too hard. Stop thinking you must be perfect. Start thinking small, daily, and confident steps. Start thinking that mistakes are okay and every sentence you speak is progress. Once your mindset is ready, your brain will learn English much faster. In the next chapter, we will talk about the most powerful step that most learners ignore. This step will train your ears first, so your brain can naturally copy English and help you speak without thinking too much. If you practice this step carefully, speaking English will become much easier. So stay tuned, because this next step will change the way you learn English forever. Chapter 2: Listen more than you speak. A few years ago, I met a student named Rehan. He wanted to speak English fast. Every day he tried to memorize long grammar rules and hundreds of words. He practiced speaking a lot, but he was still not confident. His sentences were slow, and he often forgot words while talking. One day I told him, "Rehan, you are trying to speak before your ears are ready. First, you need to train your ears. Listen before you speak. If your ears can hear English correctly, your tongue will automatically follow." He looked surprised but agreed to try. After a few weeks of focused listening, his speaking improved faster than before. Many beginners make the mistake of speaking too much without listening enough. They think, "If I speak more, I will improve." But this is like trying to play the piano without listening to music. Listening is the foundation of speaking. Your brain learns the rhythm, pronunciation, and correct sentence patterns through listening. Children learn this way too. A baby does not learn grammar or words by reading books. A baby listens first, repeats sounds, and then starts speaking naturally. This is the secret to learning English fast. So how can you listen effectively? First, choose the right materials. You don't need complex textbooks or long lectures. Start with simple English that you can understand. Short YouTube videos, children's cartoons, English songs, and simple stories are perfect. Even 10 to 15 minutes of listening every day is enough to start training your brain. The key is consistency. Daily listening is much more effective than long sessions once a week. Here is a simple method I teach my students. Pick a short video or story and listen carefully. Don't worry if you don't understand every word. Focus on the sounds, pronunciation, and rhythm. Repeat small parts after you hear them. This is called shadowing. For example, if the video says, "I am going to school," pause and say the same sentence aloud. Try to copy the tone and speed. This may feel strange at first, but after a few days, your brain will start remembering the sounds automatically. Your tongue will start moving naturally, and speaking will become easier. Listening also helps you learn phrases, not just words. Many beginners try to memorize individual words like morning or school, but forget them quickly. When you listen, you hear words used together in sentences. You understand how people naturally speak. For example, instead of memorizing the word morning, you hear the phrase, "Good morning," "How are you?" and your brain remembers it better. Listening in context is much faster and more effective than memorizing single words. Another tip is to listen actively, not passively. Don't just play a video in the background while doing other things. Focus on the sounds. Try to repeat sentences, mimic pronunciation, and notice the rhythm. You can even write down simple phrases you hear and repeat them. Active listening trains your brain and tongue at the same time. Over time, you will notice that you can speak sentences without thinking too much, because your brain already knows them. Listening also improves your confidence. Many beginners hesitate to speak because they are not sure how English should sound. When you listen every day, your ears become familiar with natural English. You start recognizing sentence patterns, intonation, and pronunciation. Suddenly, when you speak, it sounds correct because your brain has already heard it many times. This builds confidence without the need for long grammar study. You can also make listening fun and enjoyable. Watch your favorite English cartoons, short movies, or YouTube videos. Listen to English songs and try to sing along. Follow simple English podcasts. When learning is fun, you won't feel like you are studying. Your brain will learn naturally, and speaking will improve without extra effort. Finally, remember this: listening is the secret step most learners ignore. Speaking comes naturally when your ears are trained. Listening every day, even for a few minutes, is more important than speaking without understanding. Your goal should be to hear correct English first, then copy it with confidence. Over time, your listening and speaking will improve together, and you will start speaking clearly and naturally. So today, you learned the most important secret: listen more than you speak. Choose simple English materials, listen daily, shadow sentences, and enjoy the process. Your ears are your first teacher. Once your ears are trained, your speaking will become automatic and natural. In the next chapter, we will talk about speaking every day, even if you are alone. Speaking is the fastest way to improve your English, and I will show you how to practice daily with simple, practical methods. Stay tuned, because this next step will make your English speaking faster and more confident than ever before. Chapter 3: Speak every day, even alone. A few years ago, my student Ahmed wanted to speak English fast. He read many books, memorized long lists of words, and watched countless videos. But when it came to speaking, he was nervous. He often froze, forgot words, and stopped talking. One day, I told him, "Ahmed, the secret to learning English is not just reading or listening. You must speak every day. Even if you are alone, you need to practice speaking. He looked at me and said, "But I don't have anyone to speak with." I smiled and said, "That is not a problem. You can speak to yourself. Your brain and mouth need practice, and speaking alone works very well." Many beginners think speaking is only useful if you have a conversation partner. This is not true. Speaking is a skill that needs daily exercise. Think of it like swimming. You cannot learn swimming by reading books about swimming. You have to jump into the water and practice. The same is true for English. You cannot learn to speak by only reading, listening, or memorizing words. You have to speak every single day. Even small sentences are enough to start. If you don't have a speaking partner, start by talking to yourself. Describe what you are doing in English. For example, if you are cooking, say, "I am boiling water. I am cutting vegetables. I am making dinner." If you are cleaning your room, say, "I am sweeping the floor. I am dusting the table. I am organizing my books." At first, this may feel strange or funny. You may even laugh at yourself. That is okay. Laughing shows that you are enjoying the process. The more you speak, the more comfortable you become. Another effective method is to record yourself speaking. Take your phone or computer and record a short sentence or story. Listen to it carefully. Notice your pronunciation, rhythm, and mistakes. Then repeat it again, trying to improve. Recording yourself helps you track your progress. After a few weeks, you will be surprised how much your speaking has improved. Many beginners feel shy at first, but recording is private, so you can practice without fear. You can also practice speaking using phrases you learned. For example, if you learned the phrase "How are you?" in Chapter 2, use it in your sentences. Try variations like "How are you today?" or "How is your family?" Learning phrases and using them in speech makes your English sound natural and confident. Do not focus on perfect grammar. Focus on speaking and making your sentences understandable. Perfection comes later. Speaking every day also improves your fluency. Fluency means speaking smoothly without long pauses. Beginners often stop in the middle of sentences because they are thinking of words. Daily speaking practice trains your brain to find words quickly. Your tongue and brain work together. Over time, sentences come out naturally, and your speaking becomes smooth and confident. Here is a simple plan for beginners. Start with 5 to 10 minutes of speaking every day. Describe your day, talk about your hobbies, or tell a short story. Gradually increase the time to 15 or 20 minutes. If you want, you can even practice speaking with friends or online partners, but speaking alone is enough to improve a lot. Consistency is more important than long hours. Daily small practice gives better results than long, rare practice sessions. Another tip is to use questions to practice speaking. Ask yourself questions like, "What am I doing now? What did I eat today? What will I do tomorrow?" Answer these questions in English. This helps your brain think in English and your tongue to speak naturally. Over time, thinking and speaking in English becomes automatic. Finally, remember this: speaking every day builds confidence. Many beginners stop speaking because they are afraid of mistakes. But mistakes are normal. Every sentence you speak, even if it is small, is progress. Confidence is more important than perfect grammar or pronunciation. The more you speak, the more fluent and confident you become. So today, you learned the most important rule: speak every day, even if you are alone. Describe your actions, record yourself, use phrases, and answer questions in English. Small daily practice will make your speaking smooth, natural, and confident. Remember, reading and listening are important, but speaking is the fastest way to improve. In the next chapter, we will talk about learning words and phrases the smart way. Many beginners try to memorize single words and forget them quickly. Chapter 4 will show you how to learn words in context so that you remember them naturally and use them in speaking. Stay tuned, because this step will make your English vocabulary much stronger and easier to use. Chapter 4 Learn words and phrases, not alone. A few years ago, my student Zara wanted to learn English fast. She tried memorizing 20 new words every day. She wrote long lists in her notebook and practiced them for hours. After a week, she forgot most of the words. She felt frustrated and said, "Why can't I remember these words? I am trying so hard." I smiled and told her, "Zara, memorizing single words will not help you speak English naturally. You need to learn words in groups or phrases. That way, your brain remembers them faster, and you can use them in real sentences." She looked surprised but agreed to try. After a few weeks, she started remembering words easily and speaking with confidence. Many beginners make the mistake of learning words alone. They think memorizing words will help them speak, but it often does not. You might know the word morning, but when you try to say, "Good morning," "How are you?" your brain freezes because you never practice the phrase. Learning single words is like learning bricks without building a house. You need to learn words in context, in sentences and phrases, so that your English becomes natural and useful. So, how do you learn words effectively? First, start with phrases, not single words. For example, instead of learning morning, learn the phrase, "Good morning. How are you?" Instead of learning eat, learn "I am eating breakfast," or "I want to eat lunch." When you learn phrases, you understand how words are used in real life. Your brain remembers them faster, and your speaking becomes natural. Another tip is to group similar words together. For example, learn phrases for greetings, shopping, food, travel, or work. If you learn phrases in groups, you can use them in different situations. For example, for shopping, you can learn, "How much is this? I want to buy this. Do you have a bigger size?" Learning these phrases together makes your English practical and easy to use. You can also use daily life to learn phrases. Observe what you do every day and create phrases for it. For example, when you make tea, say, "I am boiling water," "I am making tea," "I am drinking tea." When you go to the market, say, "I am buying vegetables." "How much is this?" "I want 2 tomatoes." Using phrases in real life helps your brain remember them naturally, and you can use them immediately when speaking. Another effective method is repetition. Repeat each phrase several times. Say it aloud, write it, and use it in a sentence. For example, if the phrase is, "I am going to school," say it 3 times. Then make a new sentence. "I am going to the market." Repetition helps your brain store phrases permanently. Over time, you do not have to think about grammar or words. Your sentences come out naturally. You can also use flashcards or sticky notes. Write a phrase on a card or note and place it where you can see it often, on your table, door, or mirror. Read the phrase every day, say it aloud, and try to use it in your own sentence. This small daily practice makes a huge difference. Beginners often forget phrases, but seeing and repeating them daily makes them permanent in your memory. Learning phrases also helps with grammar naturally. You don't need to memorize complicated grammar rules. When you repeat phrases like, I am eating breakfast or she goes to school every day, your brain automatically learns the correct word order and sentence structure. Later, when you speak, your sentences will be correct without thinking about grammar rules. This is a much faster way to learn English than memorizing grammar from a book. Finally, make learning phrases fun and practical. Listen to English videos or songs and pick up phrases you like. Repeat them aloud and use them in your daily conversations. Practice with yourself or friends. When learning is enjoyable, your brain remembers better and your English improves faster. So today, you learned the secret to remembering words easily. Learn phrases, not single words. Group phrases, use daily life, repeat them, and enjoy the process. This will make your English natural, practical, and ready to use in real conversations. In the next chapter, we will talk about reading, repeating, and internalizing English. Reading aloud and repeating sentences will train your brain and tongue together. You will see your English become smoother, faster, and more confident. Stay tuned, because this next step will make speaking English much easier and natural. Chapter 5: Read, Repeat, and Internalize English. A few years ago, I had a student named Bilal. He wanted to speak English fast, but he was struggling. He could listen well, and he tried to speak every day, but his sentences were slow and unclear. I asked him, Bilal, do you read English aloud? He said, No, I just read silently. I smiled and said, That is why your tongue and brain are not working together. Reading aloud is the secret to speaking fluently. He decided to try, and after a few weeks of reading aloud every day, his sentences became smoother, and his confidence improved. Reading aloud is one of the most powerful techniques to learn English. Many beginners ignore it because they think reading silently is enough, but reading aloud trains your brain, mouth, and tongue to work together. It helps you speak naturally, with correct rhythm and pronunciation. When you see a sentence and say it aloud, your brain starts remembering it. Over time, your tongue starts speaking automatically, and you do not have to think about every word. So how should you start reading aloud? First, choose simple materials. Start with short stories, children's books, or graded readers. Don't try to read complex books or novels at the beginning. Simple sentences are easier to remember and speak. For example, a sentence like, She goes to school every day, is perfect. Read it aloud, slowly at first, then repeat it several times. Notice how your tongue moves and how your voice sounds. Next, use the repeat and copy method. Read a sentence aloud, pause, and repeat it 3 or 4 times. Then try to use it in your own sentence. For example, if the sentence is, I am making tea, repeat it aloud. Then say, I am making coffee, or I am making lunch. This way, you are not just reading, you are practicing speaking in real situations. Repetition makes the sentence natural in your memory. When you see it again, your brain remembers it automatically. Another important tip is to record yourself reading. Use your phone or computer and read a short paragraph aloud. Then listen to your recording carefully. Notice your pronunciation, intonation, and speed. Compare it to the original audio if you are reading a story with a recording. This will help you identify mistakes and improve faster. Recording also motivates you to track your progress. After a few weeks, you will hear a big difference in your fluency and confidence. Reading aloud also improves your vocabulary and sentence structure. When you read and repeat sentences, you see how words are used together naturally. For example, instead of memorizing single words like run or school, you see them in context. I run every morning, or she goes to school every day. Your brain learns grammar and vocabulary automatically, without the stress of studying rules. This is a much faster way to internalize English than memorizing rules or lists of words. You can also make reading fun and practical. Read stories you like, articles about topics you enjoy, or short dialogues from movies. Speak them aloud with expression. Pretend you are a character in the story. This not only makes learning enjoyable, but also trains your voice and pronunciation. Your brain will remember phrases faster when learning is fun. Another effective technique is to combine reading with listening. If you have a story or dialogue with audio, listen first, then read aloud while copying the voice. Match the speed, tone, and pronunciation. This method is called shadowing. Shadowing makes your English sound natural, like a native speaker. Over time, your brain and tongue will automatically copy the correct English rhythm, and speaking will become easier. Finally, remember this: reading aloud and repeating daily is the bridge between listening and speaking. Listening trains your ears, speaking trains your tongue, but reading aloud trains both together. Even just 10 to 15 minutes every day can make a huge difference. Your sentences will become smoother, your vocabulary will improve, and your confidence will grow. So today, you learned the powerful step: read, repeat, and internalize English. Start with simple books, read aloud, repeat sentences, record yourself, and have fun while learning. When you practice this daily, your English will start feeling natural, and you will be able to speak with confidence without thinking too much about every word. In the next chapter, we will talk about daily practice and enjoying English. This is the final key step that makes all the previous steps work together. You will see how small daily practice can give huge results, and how to enjoy learning English every day. Stay tuned, because this last step will make your English learning easy, fast, and fun. Chapter 6: Daily Practice and Enjoying English. A few years ago, I met a student named Nita. She wanted to speak English fast. She tried listening, speaking, and reading, but she was not consistent. Some days she studied for 2 hours, other days she didn't touch English at all. After a few weeks, she felt frustrated and thought, maybe English is too hard for me. I told her, Nita, the secret is not studying more in one day. The secret is practicing a little every day. Daily practice is the most powerful tool to learn English fast. She decided to follow a simple daily routine, and in just a few months, her English improved a lot. Many beginners make the mistake of trying to study too much at once. They think long hours in a day will make them fluent quickly, but in reality, inconsistent practice slows down learning. Learning English is like exercising your body. You cannot become strong by doing 3 hours of exercise once a week. You need small, daily workouts to see real results. Similarly, small daily practice in English builds fluency, confidence, and natural speaking ability. So, how should you practice daily? First, make a small daily plan. It can be just 30 minutes a day, but consistent. You can divide it into 3 parts: 10 minutes listening, 10 minutes speaking, and 10 minutes reading or writing. Even 10 minutes of focused practice in each area every day is better than 2 hours once a week. Your brain needs repetition and consistency. Daily practice creates a habit, and habits make learning automatic. Another tip is to practice in real-life situations. Use English when you are cooking, cleaning, shopping, or traveling. Speak sentences like, "I am making tea," "I am washing the dishes," or "How much is this?" Using English in real life helps you remember it better than studying from books alone. It also makes English part of your daily life, and you will feel more confident speaking naturally. You can also make learning fun. Many learners feel English is boring because they only study grammar or memorize words, but English can be enjoyable. Watch your favorite English movies, cartoons, or YouTube videos. Sing English songs. Follow English memes or short stories online. When you enjoy English, your brain learns faster, and you do not feel like you are studying. Fun makes learning easy and effective. Consistency is the key. Even if you are busy, you can find small moments to practice. Listen to a short English podcast while commuting. Speak to yourself for 5 minutes during breakfast. Read one paragraph of a story before going to bed. Small, daily steps add up quickly. Over time, your English will improve much faster than you expect. Another important point is to track your progress. Keep a simple notebook or a diary. Write what you practiced each day. Note new words, phrases, or sentences you learned. Record yourself speaking weekly and listen to the old recordings. You will be surprised to see how much your English has improved. Seeing progress motivates you to keep going, and it shows that daily practice really works. Remember this: enjoying the process is as important as practicing. Many learners get frustrated because they focus only on results. But learning English is a journey, not a race. Celebrate small wins. Did you speak one sentence fluently today? Did you learn a new phrase? Did you understand an English video without subtitles? Celebrate it. Small achievements build confidence and keep you motivated. Finally, daily practice combined with enjoyment makes all the previous steps more effective. If you have the right mindset, listen carefully, speak daily, learn phrases, and read aloud, then adding daily practice and fun will make your English improve much faster. Daily practice ties all the steps together and turns learning into a habit. Once it becomes a habit, speaking English confidently becomes natural. So today, you learned the final key step. Practice a little every day and enjoy English. Make a small daily plan, practice in real-life situations, use fun methods, and track your progress. Remember, small consistent actions create big results over time. You don't need to study for hours in a day. You just need daily effort, fun, and patience. Your English will improve faster than you ever imagined. Thank you for staying with me through all 6 chapters. Now you know the complete system to learn English fast. Change your mindset, listen more than you speak every day, learn phrases, read, and repeat and practice daily while enjoying the process. If you follow these steps, you will see real improvement in a few months. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Share which step you liked the most, or tell me your experience learning English. Your feedback helps me create more easy and practical English lessons for you. Keep practicing, keep enjoying, and keep speaking English every day. Your confidence and fluency will grow step by step, and soon, speaking English will feel natural and easy.